This tutorial explains the components of a dynamic digital transition activity. So as an instructional team, we came up with the following components that we think are essential for a transition activity to become dynamic. So this information was pulled from several different sources, a lot of different research that has come up with digital learning, distance education, virtual learning, all of the different learning that we're currently doing. So this is what the rubric looks like. So every digital transition activity should include these components. So when you submit your activities, ask yourself if they include these components. And if they include these components, then they will be added to the Schoology course. If not, the team will ask you to make revisions so that it does. So every transition activity that we use for Schoology should include the use of media. So that would mean things like interactive websites, rich visuals, a video, something that's helping to engage our students. Every transition activity for Schoology would have some sort of teacher voice or interaction. So a voiceover, a screencast, a video, so that students are not just given a link to an article to read and then set free to do it on their own. So it would have some teacher-guided interaction for them. It would also have an assessment, so a what did you learn section within your activity, a way that we can find out what did the student learn. Resources are helpful to include resources for students so that they can extend their learning, perhaps learn more about one of the concepts that you covered. Go to a different website to print out a certain application or another video that they could watch, or a tutorial so that they could learn how to do a skill that you may have talked about in your activity. Things like that. The duration of these transition activities for Schoology should be 15 to 20 minutes, so that it's just long enough for a student to take some time to learn the concept, but not so much that it's overwhelming and something that they're never going to complete. Each minute within this category or within this range should be meaningful and keeping their interest. So another component of a dynamic digital transition activity would be the clarity. So make sure that the directions and our expectations for our students are very clear, that's simple. There's scaffolding included, things that make sure that the student could get the assignment or the activity assigned to them and be able to take off and go with it. Student choice is also essential for a dynamic activity. So opportunities for the student to have a choice. So in that what did you learn category, we're giving students a choice on how they want to show us what they learned. So that we're not requiring that every single student take a quiz or every single student submit a survey or a worksheet. We're giving them options so that there's some autonomy and some choices for students to submit their what did you learn. Also engagement. So keeping in mind that as transition teachers, sometimes it can be hard to get students to submit work. We're not giving them grades. We don't really have anything that we can do to hold over them to make sure that they turn in work to us. So make sure that your activities give opportunities for some fun, interesting content, thought-provoking topics. We're trying to stay like cutting edge so that students are feeling like there's some value in the activities that we're providing for them. And also for case carriers or teachers that might be at our schools, we want these activities to be something that they would look to and perhaps use within their instruction, and that so that we're a benefit to everyone on our campus. So then at the bottom there's just a link for an article that we read that we thought was really inspiring for how to build engaging lessons for students. So that is what the dynamic digital transition activity rubric looks like.